Hey, listen up. This is Hans at Listen Up Games, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to hear, how to feel the flavors of all the tones in the major scale. We've talked about singing familiar songs in solfege. We've talked about singing patterns going up and down. And of course, we've talked about playing tone hole to help culture that feeling of recognition of all 7 tones in the major scale. Of course, there's the minor scale too, which we've tipped into a little bit in video 5. But today we're going to focus on the feeling of the flavors of the tones in the major scale. Now, other methods make you memorize intervals, right? Intervals like the major third, major third, major third, and you want to memorize that in all sorts of atonal contexts, like I'll show you. The way I learned, you got to memorize this major third, major third, major third, major third, major third. Ooh, a unicorn. Major look. Anyway, so we went through all the intervals. Major third, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, tritone, major sixth, minor sixth, major second, minor second, major seventh, minor seventh. And that's okay, but for most kinds of music, you've got to be able to feel the flavors of the notes within a tonal context, right? Within a situation where you're actually playing music. Otherwise, you've wasted your time. Now, I wasted a lot of time, probably about a decade and a half, actually. It's a little embarrassing. But going forward, when I hit grad school at the New England Conservatory and got turned on to third stream ear training and Kodai pedagogy, I really began to feel the flavors within the tonal context using a tool called solfege. We want to feel the flavors. I'm talking about feeling the flavors. Like you want to be able to know right off the bat the difference between sriracha, soy sauce. Not just by looking at them. You can see they're in different bottles, but by tasting them. I'm not going to taste them now because that's going to mess me up. So I'm wearing the headphones so I can hear the game. All right, now I'm going to show you 3 ways. It's always 3, right? Rule of 3. 3 ways that you can feel the flavors of the notes in the major scale. Now, you're going to see, wait a minute, not see, you're going to hear, you're going to know how to practice feeling, hearing these flavors so they're instantaneous to your mind. Connecting the mind to the ear using the voice. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Connecting the mind to the ear using the voice. All right, and tone hole. The first way is to sing against a drone from do to each successive note above it, which I'll take you through. Second way, to improvise little melodies that go back and forth between do and other notes in the scale. Third way, of course, play tone hole. All right, so now I want to give credit to where it's due. One of the first books I read coming out of college when I started teaching adults creative music making at Glen Echo Park in Maryland was this book called The Listening Book by W.A. Matthew. There it is. He wrote this amazing book. It's full of these great essays, and I've used it in my teaching ever since. That, along with a book called The Musical Life, same author, W.A. Matthew. Great reflections on being a musical person. So at some point, I got wind that he had a third book that really interested me. And it's called The Harmonic Experience, where he describes singing against a drone. He talks about it a little bit in the listening book, but he talks about it a lot in The Harmonic Experience. Hang on a second, I'll get it. When I ordered it online, I thought it was going to be about the same size as the other two. Well, it's not. It's big. And he gets very deep into understanding each note within the scale, not just the major scale, all of the scales, the chromatic scale, by singing, primarily by singing against a drone. It's a very powerful tool, and so that's way number 1. Now we're going to practice it now using tone hole. This is version 1.0.6, okay, where the relevant level is level 73. And you can see by the little level map here that it goes from one note, do, from one note, do, to each note within the scale and back. So it's what I call a out and back level, right? We're going back and forth between a note and the other notes in the scale. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and what I invite you to do, is to feel the flavors of each one of those. Okay, first, I'm going to just tweedle around. Okay, so I've just gone back and forth between do and each note in the scale, in the major scale. Okay, now I'm going to invite myself to play the accordion and give us a nice do drone. It's the same note. In this case, it's an A. So are you ready? Yeah. Great. And now I'm going to start the do drone here on the gang. And I'm going to sing. Take off one headphone so I can hear my voice. I'm going to sing do, or actually I'm going to sing an octave lower. Do. And now I'm going to sing do, re, do. And I'm going to feel the flavor of do, do. Singing one note, the same note as the drone, has a very specific flavor. Do, re, and singing against the drone, when I sing the re, do, I really get the feeling for what do and re sound like. I'll go do, mi, do. Go out and back. Do, mi, do. Mi has a certain quality. I might land on mi and stay on mi for a while. It feels landed. It feels bright. To me, you get to have your own feeling. Do, fa, do. Now to me, I feel like fa wants to fall to me. Fa, mi. In fact, in tonal music, fa tends to do that. But that's not an out and back shape, that's for something else. Do, so, do. That has a very specific quality as well. So, do. And then so has a very specific quality. It feels very ingoing, and melodically, it sounds heroic to me. Maybe not to you, but to me, do, so, do, so, do, so, sounds heroic. Let's have a la. Do, la, do. That has a certain quality. Do, ti. Now you feel T wants to go up to do. Do, ti, do. Ti, do, do. Okay, so now I just did it, and I did it slow, and I talked through it. But you can just do it going one to the next to the next. Now, if you're just getting started, this is an advanced thing for you. If you're just getting started, you can just do do, re, and mi, like this. Do, re, do, mi, do, do, re, do, mi, do. Right? Just feel the flavor of those notes. So I just did it in a specific way. Do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, sol, do, la, do, ti, do, do, do. But you can improvise however you want. You can go do, sol, do, la, do, fa, do, mi, do, ti, do, do. You can do whatever you want as long as you're listening and really sensing, feeling the quality of each of those notes in the scale. So that's the second way. The first way, improvise on a pattern, going back and forth to do. Second way, improvise your own way. Third way, you got it, play tone hole. Now, the warm-up level for this is always the same. And I'll play it super fast because I got it in my head. I did it. Okay, so that is the warm-up level, still matching color to color, and making sure that I'm listening to each tone. Okay, now I'm going to jump ahead 2 levels to the challenge level of this little set, going back and forth. Okay, and I'm working on having a steady rhythm that's at a good tempo. Right? If I go too fast, if I'm trying to just get those speed points, I usually fall off and ruin my flow. Remember, we still want to go with getting all the tones, doing it in a nice steady rhythm, at a good quick pace, or at a nice slow pace. But since you're watching this, I don't want you to have to double time it, so we're going to go nice and slow, nice and medium. I don't know what happened. Okay, so there you go. Sing notes in the major scale against a drone, going back and forth to do. Improvise similar melodies, going back and forth to do. And play tone hole on levels that go back and forth to do. And you can tell what they are using the level map that you see. Now right here, what's currently level 75, goes all the way through the major scale. But if you look at the level map for each one of these, it gradually adds those. So you can play an out and back level starting with just 4 notes, do and re, mi, and fa. Okay, that's all for now. Have a good time. Play with your ears.